Evan had once been a bright, lively boy, but a terrible accident stole his voice, and with it, his place in his family. Now 18, Evan was little more than a ghost in his own home. His parents ignored him, his siblings acted like he didn't exist, and he spent most days hidden under a heavy blanket in the attic room they gave him, sketching or reading to pass the lonely hours. One rainy evening while cleaning the old drawers, Evan found a crumpled note tucked inside a forgotten book. In it were harsh truths. The fortune his family lived off wasn't rightfully theirs. It belonged to another, the heir of their rival family, Rowan Sterling, the boy who, long ago, had shielded Evan from bullies, had smiled at him like he mattered, had made his silent world a little warmer. They hadn't seen each other since Evan turned mute. The families had drifted apart, or perhaps were kept apart, on purpose. Clutching the note tightly, Evan decided if he couldn't speak he would act. For once he would help someone who had once made his world a little less dark. Finding Rowan wasn't easy. Rowan had grown into a reserved, striking young man, tall, with silver blonde hair, and storm-gray eyes that held 1,000 silent storms. He was guarded, surrounded by loyal staff and barriers Evan struggled to breach. But Evan persisted. Notes, messages, secret packages left at Rowan's doorstep. Finally a meeting. Rowan stared at Evan, disbelief flickering across his eyes. The mute boy who had once laughed so freely was now standing in front of him, hands trembling but determined. Through hastily written notes and small gestures, Evan explained everything. Rowan's eyes darkened with anger at the betrayal, but when he looked at Evan, tiny, fragile Evan, still standing firm, something inside him softened. He had never forgotten him. Not for a second. Together, they plotted. They unearthed documents, gathered witnesses, exposed years of lies. Rowan slowly started pulling Evan into his world, offering him safe spaces, learning to read his expressions and small gestures like no one else bothered to anymore. And as they spent nights side by side, poring over plans, sharing silent smiles, Rowan realized Evan wasn't just fighting for justice. He was fighting for him. And Evan? He realized Rowan wasn't just someone he admired. He had fallen for him, a feeling blooming so fiercely it almost gave him back his voice. One night after a small victory in their mission, Rowan pulled Evan into a tight hug, unspoken relief and gratitude flooding between them. Evan clung back desperately, feeling for the first time in years, truly seen, truly loved. "You've always been my voice when I had none too, Evan." In that moment, Evan's heart screamed what his lips couldn't say. "I love you." After a dramatic public reveal, Rowan reclaimed his family's fortune, but he didn't care for the money. All he cared about was Evan. He immediately bought a small cottage on the countryside for them both, away from scheming families and heavy expectations. Slowly, patiently, Rowan taught Evan that he didn't need to shout to be heard. Every look, every touch, every smile between them spoke volumes louder than any words. On a soft spring morning, Evan, holding Rowan's hand under the blooming cherry trees, finally croaked out his first word after years of silence. "Evan, stay." And Rowan promised, with his heart and soul, that he always would. Epilogue, Rowan's POV. I wake up to sunlight spilling over the bed, pooling over Evan's peaceful face. He's curled up beside me, blanket half tucked under his chin, his hair a messy halo. Our lives are simple now. Coffee dates, books shared over quiet afternoons, walks in the nearby woods where Evan tugs my hand toward every flower he likes. He laughs sometimes, the smallest sound, but it fills the entire house with joy. I lean down, brushing a kiss to his forehead. "Thank you for fighting for me, for letting me fight for you." Evan stirs, sleepy eyes blinking open, and gives me that rare, breathtaking smile. He might not speak much, but every day in every way he tells me, I'm home. And so am I, always. Extra chapter, first anniversary. The morning light is soft, spilling over the kitchen where Evan stands, determinedly mixing something in a large bowl. His tongue sticks out a little in concentration. There's flour dusted on his nose, and the counter, and the floor. I lean against the doorframe, arms crossed, just watching him, feeling my heart squeeze painfully in my chest. This boy, this beautiful, stubborn boy, who once lived like a shadow, is now humming silently to himself while making a mess just for me. Today is our first anniversary. 1 year since he found me again. 1 year since we chose each other over everything else. He catches me staring, cheeks flushing pink, and quickly turns back to the bowl. I walk over and nudge him lightly with my hip. Rowan, need help? Evan shakes his head fiercely, scribbling a note quickly on the notepad we keep nearby. I laugh and back away obediently, sitting at the kitchen table, pretending not to peek but peeking anyway. He's trying to frost a very lopsided cake, the frosting sliding down the sides like a lazy river. It's adorable. Absolutely perfect. Finally, Evan places a single candle, just one, in the center of the cake. He carries it over carefully, setting it down in front of me with a proud, shy smile. He signs with his hands, slow and deliberate so I can understand. I can't help it. I pull him into my lap, wrapping my arms around him tightly. Rowan, I love it. I love you. Evan turns in my arms, shy but bold, and taps his lips lightly. May I? His eyes seem to ask. I smile, lifting his chin gently and kissing him, slow, deep, and full of everything words could never say. When we pull apart, he grabs the candle, lights it, and gestures for me to make a wish. I look at him, alive, glowing, beautiful, and think, what more could I possibly wish for? Still I close my eyes, pressing a secret wish to my heart. Let us have 100 more anniversaries like this. I blow out the candle, and Evan laughs. A soft, broken, beautiful sound that fills every hollow space inside me.